Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Man, We're Too Old for This here on the Nerd Turtle Network. I'm your host, the experience that some call Jason, and with me today is.
CDL-113, the droid you're looking for.
And the blurred dawn of the veil, the Todd Father.
And today we are posing a question. When is Hollywood going to stop chasing the Twitter audience? If you've listened to us much at all, you probably know more or less, what we're talking about. But for anybody new, because any episode could be somebody's first, Todd, what exactly do we mean by this question?
The apparently cryptid-like, non-existent audience that exists on Twitter that a lot of Hollywood seems to bend over backwards for. I think just about anybody that touches pop culture that maybe 2015, would realize just kind of what we're talking about. This audience that is cool with pantherless Black Panther and pointless She-Hulk and Jedis that don't have to be trained. that whole mob, or as I like to think about them, from the movie Idiocracy, the ones where Ass was the
greatest movie of the time.
It was the number one movie in the world.
Well, there's one important difference between the Ass audience and the Twitter audience. The Ass audience was actually showing up to see this movie.
That's true. The Ass audience actually did spend money.
Yeah, considering their second favorite show was Kick My Balls or something like that.
Yeah. But Jason hit the nail on the head. Is at least they showed up for it.
Yeah. Because that's where the real question comes from. If the Twitter audience was paying for stuff, if the stuff that was put out kind of aimed at them was making money, we could understand why people would keep doing it.
Yeah. But they don't. They fail over and over again. They fail in comics. They fail in video games. They fail on TV. They fail in movies.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. One of the problems that I think the quote-unquote Twitter, aged audience, they don't realize that the studios are throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and the fact that, there's a reason a product lasts for 20, 30, 50, 60 years. It's because it has a base, and the base means something. It has an origin. And if you throw the origin out, it's not the same thing.
Well, the trick is, though, if you talk about the Twitter audience, they don't give a shit. Hell, they just want the platform. What doesn't make sense is the studios will keep chasing these fuckers that are basically like cryptids. They don't exist. They've been chasing these jokers since 2015. They don't exist.
Yeah.
When it comes to Disney and Star Wars, they openly mock the people that made the property a hit. She-Hulk openly mocks the people that made She-Hulk a viable property. Because it was them basement dwelling neckbeards that they're like making fun of. That's your damn audience. Who the hell you think was behind this crap? Cool kids didn't read She-Hulk.
No.
They didn't. Pop culture is basically built off of misfits. So for them, it's kind of fucked up to be old enough to catch it, to have caught hell from both ends. When we were young and into this, the cool kids were like, you suck because you like this. And as an adult, now the cool kids like it, they're going, you suck because you like this.
It's like I was talking with a guy on Facebook. I can remember when, skating on a skateboard, which is a skill I do not have, but I have friends that did back in high school, was a big deal because it was, still, you were a rebel. It was a rebel sport kind of thing. And I remember Tony Hawk, when he come on the scene doing these crazy tricks on a skateboard, and people lost their mind. Now, Tony Hawk is our age, 51, 50, somewhere between 51 and 52, 53. And he can still skate like that, not as many times in a day, 50-something years old, but still, he can do stuff that some kids can't on a skateboard. but yet, and now it's an Olympic sport and it's recognized, but back in the day, it wasn't. And you still got people that go, oh, yeah, I've heard of him, but they couldn't pick him out of a lineup. But yet they think, oh, skating, yeah, that's just normal. They hear it's an Olympic sport and they don't blink and go, wow, I still can't believe that. I'm old enough to remember when, they proposed it as a tryout sport for the Summer Olympics.
Which is different than the fact we talking about stuff that just don't work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You had this whole group of people in the Olympic committees going, oh, this can't be a sport. It's not a sport.
Yeah, but that's still not somebody throwing money down a wild hog's ass.
Yeah, because skating actually had an audience.
Yeah, it has an audience. This shit don't have an audience. You've got movie after movie, show after show where, they go, you don't like my politics, don't watch my show. And then people don't watch the show, and then they butthurt that nobody, why didn't you watch it? Told people don't watch it.
Yeah, that last Terminator movie is a good example of that.
Hell, you had that movie Bros come out 2 weeks ago. Its opening was like $4.8 million. You looked at that and went, well, who in the hell is this for? And then the director comes out and goes, well, it failed because straight people didn't go see this gay rom-com. Who the fuck did you think was going to see it? Apparently gay people didn't go see the damn thing. Which is one or two things. Either gays didn't go see it either, or you marketed that to a niche that was smaller than you think it is.
Yep. I give you a good example. On Netflix, you had that Neil Patrick Harris movie. Shit, I can't remember the name of it now, but Jennifer and I watched it. Netflix or one of the streaming services was exactly where it should have aired. It wouldn't have made money if it had went to the big screen. That's where this Bros movie should have went to, because this way you get a global market. The trick is you ain't worried about it.
But the trick is they are chasing something that don't exist.
Yeah, I know.
Terminator. You had the director come out. If you don't like it, it's gonna make misogynist, panties twist in a bundle. What shit? Well, who in the hell is it for? That's what I'm talking about when they chase the audience. Ghostbusters 2016. Who in the hell was that for? Wasn't for fans of Ghostbusters. Just what? Terminator. Not for fans of Terminator. The first thing they did was kill John Connor, which is, you kind of sit there going, why the hell would you do that? Who in the hell is this for? Star Wars of late. Who in the hell is it for? There's no point to it. Things had an established fan base, and they seem to go out of their way to go, screw them.
Yeah, they throw the baby out with the bathwater. They don't keep the product and keep it alive.
They don't try to expand the audience. They basically throw the audience away, expecting to have this new, bigger audience.
Yeah, they try to replace the audience that's not there. It's just not there. And you would think, well, you can take the MCU for an example. When Disney took over, they said we're keeping the comic books really just as product development for the movies. This is where we're going to try out new ideas. Well, your current MCU is all new, all Marvel. All New Marvel was the name of it. And it damn near killed the books. So if you were using that as research and development, what the hell did you learn from it? It almost killed the books. What the hell do you think it's going to do to the movies? It's the same damn audience. It's the same damn people. Who in the hell do you think was going to see Iron Man before anybody else, before the casuals knew who the fuck Iron Man was?
Yeah, for your average non-comic book reading person, the draw to the first Iron Man movie was Robert Downey Jr.
But the trick was, the thing that made that a hit wasn't the casuals.
No, it was
what? It was the people. It was the fucking nerds went, oh shit, it's Iron Man movie. He looked like he walked right out of the comic book.
Yeah.
You run to those same people now, they look down on you. Hey, just like the comic book. Well, if the comic book wasn't what I like, why the fuck do you think this damn thing's that old? You wasn't backing it. You were not backing this shit. And then they get offended kind of for people that are the reason. I had a guy online go, it'll be good when basically these neckbeard types go. I was like, well, if they ever completely go, that's the end of your shit. You go, well, why you hate watching? Cause hell, it's cause you got people that wanted to see some of these characters live action their whole life, and if you give a person that's dying of thirst pissy water, they'll drink it. You're not having a choice between clean water and dirty water. You're dying of dehydration, and all you got is water that somebody pissed in. That's So you'll have people drink it and complain about it. She-Hulk was a character that I liked. That was truthfully when they announced it. That was the one I was waiting on. A piece of shit from start to finish. It is a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, I keep going to Thor movies, hoping one of them will be good. But alas, they've only gone downhill.
And they consistently get worse. And it's who are you chasing? Who in the hell was Love and Thunder for? Who in the hell is Wakanda Forever for? Definitely not for Black Panther fans. He ain't in it.
And replacing him is always what kills the Black Panther book, so.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a whole other discussion we could have on why Black Panther specifically would be targeted like this.
But hell, you look at Namor going, who the hell's that for? Not for fans of Namor. Ain't motherfucker you wanted to see when you read Submariner comics or comics with Submariner. That ain't the shit you were looking forward to.
No. The only thing that the one that they got coming out with this new Submariner is he's got dark hair, a tan complexion, and green trunks. And wings on his feet.
And the funny thing is, you can find out that these super fans that they got now, like, well, he got stupid wings on his feet. That looks stupid. But I guarantee you, they'll swear it down. Submariner is somebody they've been looking forward to for all their life.
Yeah.
We'll argue that. He could be asked that. Motherfucker, you like the fact that he's on his feet, which is literally the first motherfucking thing that Submariner fan will go. Hey, he got wings on his feet.
Yep. Because I had that discussion with somebody. They were complaining that he had the wings on his feet. I'm like, you do realize the character has had wings on his feet since the very first time he was introduced. The
40s?
Yeah, I said he's a character that him and the original Human Torch go back to the 40s, actually to the fucking World War II era. And I said he had wings on his feet. That's what let him fly like a flying fish. And I said,
well, flying fish don't have wings, but carry on though.
But the point is, that's the shit that you got floating around in the damn van.
Oh, just for accuracy's sake, Marvel Comics issue 1 actually came out in 1939, so he actually goes back to the 30s. He's literally 1 year after Superman, making him one of the oldest comic superheroes.
Yeah, like I said, I know Submariner's one that even my dad's familiar with. He read Submariner when he was a little kid.
Yeah, my dad was the same way.
But that was one when the first action figure I had. It was like, oh man, they did a Submariner. You got a name? Yeah. But I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand the hell with the people that brought you to the dance in favor of somebody that and shit don't exist.
Like I said earlier, if they tried that going for the new audience, and the new audience was there and supported it, I would understand it. But it's been years now, and they're losing. You can look at the money they've lost, especially in the comic industry. DC's worrying about being shut down completely, but they just keep going.
Well, I had to go to the dentist week 4 last, and making chit chat with the hygienist before they started doing the cleaning and everything. I asked her, been watching any good shows, any good movies, and she said, can't remember which one of the Marvel movies they watched on Disney, because she said they have the Disney Channel for their kids, and she said her husband got her into the Marvel movies when they were dating, and she had seen, like family members with a comic book. She was a girl. I knew comic books. I knew they existed, didn't do them. My husband, huge nerd, takes me to these movies, and I'm like, okay, that was a good action movie. To me, the movies were it. I had no background in the thing, she said. She said, now it's got to the point where I will have the shows on for our son, and my husband is so fed up with them because they don't keep to the thing Because like I mentioned Black Panther, how Todd was upset about that. And she goes, "Oh yeah, don't even get me started on my husband's reaction to them not recasting the character." She said he refuses to watch anything new from Marvel now because of it. And she said, he was a huge fan. And he's already said if it wasn't for the kid, I would have already dropped our Disney Plus, but the kid loves to watch all this stuff. So she said, I'll sit down and watch stuff with the kid and he'll just get up and leave the room. He's so mad about it. And, Marvel and Disney and DC, all of them are doing that. It's like chasing off all the original OG fans of the stuff before it was cool, and be damned how much money they're losing.
That's kind of the point. And I don't get it. I do not get it.
But the question we were actually asking today was, when are they going to stop doing that? So let's move on into our thoughts on when they would stop.
I think they're going to. I think you hit the nail on the head before we start recording. I literally think they're going to let the shit go down the crapper.
I think they'll stop one day after hell freezes over. The day after that happens, I think we may need to change gears. Because until then, they're going to have to lose that last dollar and then owe another $100 million that they don't have before they realize we may have made a mistake somewhere.
It's got to the point because it can't be. Now it's not monetary. It's not monetary.
No.
Yeah.
Right now, part of it is they've got some sort of agenda or message or platform that they want to push.
It's pride. I think they are so prideful that they can't admit that this shit don't sell.
With some of them, I guarantee you it's that.
I give you burgers made of rat meat and arsenic, and
if you don't eat them, it's your fault.
Well, something wrong with you. Why didn't you try it?
Yeah.
Let me present something that a fella I watch a lot presented. This ideal is coming from Bear the Forever DM or GM, I forget. You can look him up on YouTube, but and he does a lot of game and comic stuff. But he's been an actor. Got his head blown up in one of the Punisher movies, but he pointed out back in the, I can't remember if it was the 60s. It was sometime that Hollywood had hit a low in how much money they were making, and what it was they had lost touch with Middle America. Middle America is who sees most of your movies in the theater. Most of the people live on the coast, but it's outside of or in the middle of those brackets is actually where most people go. And they completely lost touch, and the money didn't start picking up until they started doing the stuff that used to be the B movies and started giving it real budgets. And he's got this whole theory of that's essentially what has happened now, that Hollywood has just completely lost touch with mainstream.
Oh, I agree with that.
And that, eventually you're going to hit a point where, they're going to go out of business or they're going to course correct. He's got I forget exactly what his timetable was, but he's got the hopes that in the next few years we'll start seeing the course correction.
Like I said, if you take the comics as prologue,
mm-hmm.
they're to the point where, I will say I saw a thing just yesterday where DC's getting ready to lay off so many people and it ain't funny, but
and license their stuff to other people. But DC and Marvel, the comic companies, are such small potatoes money-wise compared to who owns them.
Yeah,
they might fold. Disney is not going to let its entire corporation go out of business flushing this money. There's going to hit a point where they have to stop if they want to keep the lights on. And at the end of the day, shareholders are about profit. It's going to hit a point where the shareholders will revolt because they're losing money. The creatives working in the company, they might be willing to just ride the Hindenburg down to the ground for their message, their whatever, their pride. But the shareholders won't put up with that indefinitely.
Yeah. But like I said, it's one of those kind of things where, you're right. I seriously doubt they will let the entire company go to the shitter. But you can see the MCU go to the shitter. You can
Oh yeah,
its own division. You can see Star Wars go to the shitter. That's its own division. You know, there's a whole lot of divisions in them things that can go to the shitter. You know, Comcast just took a big L with G4. They spent, you know, millions of dollars getting G4 up and going, and you had one feminist rant that you found out that somebody came up with. It wasn't even real. You found out after the fact that they were really doing that trying to get attention, and they got
it. just from the wrong group.
It wasn't the attention that they wanted.
the outrage,
The fan baiting blew up in their face.
marketing, the outrage marketing, that is going to start biting a lot of these companies because people are starting to get wise to it and get tired of it to the point of just kind of going meh.
Yeah, they just go, well, all right, keep it.
Like with the gay Captain America, Marvel had those releases set up to talk about all the outrage, and there wasn't any. The fans literally looked at it and went, whatever, and just didn't touch it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the trick to it is, you know, it's you'll have the thing. Well, you know, like I said, the villains of She-Hulk are YouTubers. That's literally who they cast as the villain was internet trolls. Which one means, look at how long ago She-Hulk was shot, which meant that was the plan all along. They knew they were creating a shit show that people were not going to like. That's a stupid ass plan. Who the fuck are you chasing with that? You are running away your built-in fucking audience. I went to business school. That makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. I got my degree in business too, and you sit there and you go, okay, I understand you may lose a little money for, you know, an experimentation or trying to promote a thing, and then you see it, but when you see that it's not going to float, it's not going to catch fire and be the hottest product around, you got to look back and go, okay, now what got me here to this point? Were these three programs or these three products? Okay, what works about them? Why do people like these three products so much? This, okay, let's work with that. You want to try something out of the box over here? Cool. Is it working? Okay, keep working with it. We're going to still promote these. Okay, we've got a fourth one now. Okay, we're going to keep promoting these. Okay, you got two more here out of the box. What's making money? Okay, we're going to work with that and cam the rest. And they can't fathom that. I mean, you know, even Henry Ford finally figured out that he had to start making cars in something other than black.
Well, you say he figured it out is when his competitors started.
Yeah, it's when his competition did that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, he finally, because.
But the trick, but that's what's interesting about this situation is, if I'm sitting there watching you run your business into the ground instead of doing the opposite of what the hell you're doing, I join you, which makes no damn sense. It literally makes no sense.
It's like you're sitting on your front porch and there's a bridge at the end of your street and you're watching hordes of people jump off that bridge, but nothing's chasing them, and you go, you know what? I'm going to jump off that bridge.
Yeah.
If it's one thing if you got an enemy army or an army of undead and you jump off the bridge.
It has to make sense.
Yeah.
It does not make good sense. How many times does this stuff have to fail?
Apparently until it's one day after hell freezes over.
I had hopes that K-Pek was going to come in and clean up Disney. And he's talked a good game. I haven't seen anything change yet.
K-Pek's thing has kind of been, I'm gonna let you. Everybody thought he was gonna come in and burn the joint to the ground. Everybody thought he was gonna do a Zaslav. Zaslav came in and was like, I don't give him, if you notice, Cartoon Network's gone. Because he looked at the shit and was like, what the hell, what's the point of this? He's somebody that's penny pinching enough that, like we were talking earlier, he cares about the little shit.
Yeah.
He's looking at DC's little ass in comparison to Warner Brothers and going, damn you. You're going to have to do better than this shit. Chapek's thing has been more of, I'm going to let you do what you do and let it fail. That way when I come along and get rid of it,
you've done the work for me.
Yeah, I can point and go, see, we let you do this and it failed. The trick is you ain't gonna have nothing left doing that crap because they are running people away in droves you got people actively telling your customer kick rocks. You may not get them back.
Yeah. Well, was it Zaslaw? Is that it?
Zaslaw.
His take on things reminds me of something one of my business teachers was talking about. He said, imagine a boat. He said, your business, your product, and everything is a boat. You can take a bunch of little nicks into your hull and spring little small leaks and still stay afloat. But you start taking big hits and put big things, where you're, taking on more water than you can pump out, you got a problem. But when you take them little hits, if you don't do something about it, those little hits where, you're taking on just little tiny bits of water can sink that boat too. And Zaslaw comes in and goes, okay, we got a bunch of little hits right here that's causing leaks in our cash flow. Fix them. You got X amount of days to either patch it, re-weld it, or just do away with whatever's causing this leak. Because he realizes all that little stuff adds up.
Yeah, it's a death by 1,000 cuts.
And you can't get some of these like Marvel, or I should say Disney. They do the same thing with the Star Wars products and the Marvel products. Hit, great. Not a hit, eh.
Well, the thing is, it's usually not a hit, and if you didn't go see it, it's because of some flaw with you, not the product.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is their reaction to it is like, we'll get over it.
Yeah, but like I said, that's why I'm saying it's chasing the Twitter crowd, because the Twitter crowd care about being called things. That's a big thing on Twitter. It ain't like somebody put a hand on you. It's that millennial, zennial, words of violence crowd, and they think that Gen Xers give a damn. Gen Xers basically will fucking keep it, and that's what's happening.
Yeah. We're the generation right now with the money.
The Zennials didn't show up. The Millennials barely show up. And it's your Gen Xers. It's a bunch of 50-year-old, late 40s and 50-year-olds keeping your shit afloat. And you spending all your time basically trying to call them names. Well, the trick is you can't call me a name and it stings but a couple of times, and eventually I get used to it. So when the shit comes, out and She-Hulk makes fun of you trolls and misogynists and this, and people just kind of go, fuck it, I keep the shit. And they'll take it out. It's just like you were asking me about Andor. Hey, you watch Andor? No, because I watched Obi-Wan, which was a character that I actually liked and hated. I'm not with a character that I didn't give a shit about going into it. I don't care. I don't give a shit. It's gonna be hard for them to get me to watch another Disney Plus show, Star Wars, that ain't The Mandalorian. Because I enjoyed The Mandalorian, both seasons of it I watched. Ahsoka, iffy. Andor, hell no. Anything that I think Kathleen Kennedy's got involvement with, any of her New Republic shit, I wouldn't touch that shit to save my mother's soul.
High Republic.
What'd you say?
I think it's the High Republic.
What I call it?
New Republic.
High Republic, New Republic, whatever. The one with the goddamn rock. I take that lie back. If I found out Geode was in something, I would watch that shit. I would joke watch that shit just to see how the hell did you make this a character? It's a rock.
We're coming up on time, so do y'all have any final thoughts?
Yeah, my thing is hell, R.I.P. the MCU. It died when Tony Stark snapped them fingers.
Yeah.
He killed the whole damn franchise. You can watch Endgame now when you have that funeral and all the characters from the MCU are there. It has a whole new meaning. Yeah, he killed the whole goddamn thing right there. It's fucked.
He brought back the wrong people.
He killed the wrong people. That poison spread and killed the whole damn franchise.
All right, well, if you agreed with us, if you disagreed with us, if you want to rant at us, you can leave a comment below. You can send us a message at the nerdeternal@gmail.com.
If you want to come online and realize that Danny hates women,
I don't hate women. I'm married.
I don't know. You were talking very exclusive about women reading comics. Well, she was a girl. Well, now wait a second.
Yeah, I noticed that misogyny flowing out of him, man. Damn shame.
Yeah, it is.
You should probably do something about that.
But anyway, Hopefully y'all will come back despite Danny and listen to us next week. Until then, I've been the experience of some called Jason, and with me has been
CDL 113, the droid you're looking for, who does not hate women.
Misogyny Bot.
Misogyny Bot. And Blur Donovan, the Todd Father, who's going to try and have an intervention for Danny.
Choose your friends very carefully, listening audience.